fact that
No.
we're now live.
Yeah, you're right. I feel unchanged. I thought this was going to have a bigger impact on my life.
Didn't we all?
I've been saying that for years.
That's how you spell.
Nice. Good job.
Figured if you'd be the Secretary of Eggs, I should put my formal title in as well.
Oh, good. Hold on. I have to large screen this so I can see it. Nice. Excellent. Most excellent. Yeah, I just realized that I could do this coming into the room, and then I didn't see it, and then I just forgot all about it. So
yeah, it's a new one. It's a new thing they added. All right. So I'm ready. I have Demi Lovato up and ready to go. So
okay.
I think that means I'm ready.
Okay. 3, 2, 1. Kick it.
Totem Talks. You're listening to Totem Talks.
Is that something that we covered this week? Was that in the listening?
Are you joking? Is that it?
No.
Wait, really? That you're not joking?
Okay, hold on. Okay. I think I'm figuring out what it was. It's
arguably your artist's most famous song.
The way you sang it sounded minor. And so in my head, for whatever reason, it just didn't connect. And now I'm hearing that as like a sad children's choir cover of the song, like with rain noises in the background.
Honestly, maybe preferable. Who knows?
I mean, I want to see that music video now.
I feel like my hat is not straight on my head. Am I crazy?
You got to stop trying to make the whole show about your hat. Week in and week out.
Yeah, every week it's about the hat.
Damn it, Pat.
I don't know what to do. You know what I will say? Welcome in, everybody, to another episode of Totem Talks. This is season 8, episode 15.
Yeah.
And it was certainly an episode.
Yeah, it was. It was popular with some, popular with many.
Popular indeed, but certainly an acquired taste for you, as always. I know this is roughly your favorite genre on Opposite Day.
Yeah, approximately.
But anyway, you're Nick, I'm Pat, we're Totem Talks. If you're unfamiliar with who we are, what our game is, you're wrong. You're incorrect. Oh, hey, Keith. See you now. You're incorrect because we are pretty awesome. That's what I'll say. And we have made it our mission to determine the greatest musical artist of all time. No big deal. Just a little thing like that.
Sure, which we're totally qualified to do.
Nick, we are more qualified than some.
I guess.
I feel like you can't deny the truth in that statement. We're more qualified than some.
I guess like babies.
Thank you.
Hearing impaired people.
I feel like you're not giving us enough credit.
Yeah, I know.
We're probably in the upper 50% of people qualified for this in the world, out of the 8 billion people in the world.
Okay, I'll allow it.
So, all right, I will take top 4 billion.
Yeah, that's what I've always wanted to be, at least one thing.
Hey, that's great. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you for making the top 4 bill. Anyway, I know that we have hinted that we're covering pop artists today. But Nick, why don't you tell us who they are?
Yeah, I would love to. So we're kicking things off with Demi Lovato, and then we're wrapping things up with Rihanna.
Wow.
So that's what this week has in store for us.
It certainly does. And I guess without any further ado, I'll just take
Jump
us
on in.
into Demi. So Demetria Devon Lovato, shortened to Demi Lovato,
Okay.
is an American singer, songwriter, and actress who has been active since 2002 and is still active today. Just a solid chunk of 23 years,
Yeah.
as you do. We covered 3 albums. We started with, now you got to remember this because it's 2008's Don't Forget. So
All right,
you're
we'll
being
see.
tasked here.
Okay. Is this going to be like? Is this going to come back at the end of the show?
Yes, it will.
Okay.
Yes, it will. In 2013, we followed that up with Thank You, Demi, an eponymous album, Demi. And then we wrapped things up with an album. It's called Holy FVCK, but I think we all know it's supposed to mean, a certain word.
Sure.
And that album came out in 2022.
Yeah.
So Demi Lovato is my artist, and so I will get us started.
Keep going.
I'll just keep rolling on.
Also,
Man.
can I say that I had a brief moment of utter panic when you said her second album was, and you like put a comma and said thank you, comma, Demi, because you were thanking her for having an anonymous debut. I thought there was an album called Thank You, Demi, and
Thank
I
you,
listened to
Demi.
the wrong one, and I was very upset.
That would have been hilarious. I'm sorry to scare you.
But,
No,
yeah,
we
we're all
we
good.
are on the same page for now. Anyway, I'll get us rolling here. This album came out in 2008, and kind of really so did Demi Lovato. She kind of popped onto the scene with this album. And here's the thing, it's a very dated album.
Yeah, you could say that.
It is very of the time. It's very overtly poppy.
Yeah.
And it proves a couple things to me. Demi Lovato at this point doesn't really know who she is as an artist. Granted, she's very young. 2008, she's like 15, 16 years old.
Okay.
And because she's the same, she's 32, so she's in our age. She'll be turning 33 this month.
Okay. So
she'll be turning 33 in 5 days. So she is, in our firm generation of time.
Gone to high school together.
We would have. And we did. Anyway, yeah, so this album, she doesn't really know who she is as an artist yet, and that's probably partly her and partly the studio in itself. But even at 16 years old, she's got some pipes on her. She can sing. She's got a good voice. She's got a good tone. I think that with a little bit of understanding of who she is, she could turn into a really good artist. These are my thoughts so far. A couple things that I noticed that were negatives were the worst song on the album, in my opinion, is a song called The Middle. I didn't like it. I didn't know why I didn't like it. And then I saw that Cara Diagordi was the writer on it. And in fact, that's one of the few songs that Lovato is not the first credited writer on.
How about that?
Which was impressive to me. And what I also noticed was the Jonas Brothers wrote almost every song on this album with her. For better or worse. It was just a fact that I noticed. I thought it was interesting. I mean, it makes sense because she, at the same time as this album was coming out, was in a movie with the Jonas Brothers, which we'll talk about.
Okay.
I'm sure you have never even, maybe you've heard of the movie, but if you have seen it,
I can tell you based on the time frame alone that I have not seen it.
Correct. That's a correct answer. But those are my thoughts. It's not a good album. It's like, to be objective, it's not a very good album to me. It is very much like, I'm not really sure who I am. Am I like a rock singer? Am I a power pop singer? Am I a little bit of both? That's what it is. It does seem to me in the writing and the lyrics that is at least most of what she's contributing. Because I felt a little bit of story, for good or bad, in the lyrics.
Okay.
And that is maybe the best I could say about the album.
Sure. So this one, I was kind of surprised. I had no idea what to expect at all. I had no clue what
Yeah,
this was going to sound like.
of course.
And it mostly just sounded like the rejected soundtrack for Freaky Friday. Like the songs that didn't make the cut, but had that same like girl power rock. I'm a girl who plays guitar in the 2000s.
Yeah.
Um, and that was the sound that it wanted to have. And now, keep in mind, I had no idea until you started talking about this album that she was actually connected to Disney in this way. But all of my notes were like, there is a thick layer of Disney around the girl power rock that you cannot shake off. Like, this is like Disney radio music. And I would be shocked if it wasn't connected to like Disney's recording company or
Nick, sometimes you say things to me, man, and I am just blown away. And I don't even mean that in like the worst way. I truly just mean that you, the fact that you didn't know Demi Lovato was a Disney girl
no idea.
is wild to me.
I had
Okay.
no idea. I've heard her name. Like
I
I've been
know.
aware of her as a singer for like 10 years or whatever.
Listen, I totally understand. It's just so crazy to me. It's the same way you would get, like, I'm trying to think of like, if I didn't know who Soundgarden was,
Sure.
and like the shock in your eyes is the shock in my eyes. If I was just like, Soundgarden, what's that? Is that just like a garden where speakers are? Like, anyway,
It's a nice place to have a concert.
yeah, right.
Okay. So that's what I thought. I basically deciphered her career from listening to this album, essentially.
Good job.
And by the time I started the second album, I was like, look, this is pop. This is not my thing. It's for teenagers, it's by teenagers type of deal.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're going to have pop and they're at least going to be like decently constructed pop rock songs, that'll be easier on my ears than like
100%.
electro pop or dance pop. So, of course, this second album was all the electro pop stuff that I was kind of glad not to have heard and was hoping not to hear. It did open on a song that I had heard before, which is Heart Attack. So I knew that one.
Sure.
And it is like super irritating to me. There's so many parts of it. And it's again so dated from the late aughts, early 2010s. The like type of sound effects and stuff they put on her voice throughout the song that like so many pop songs of that era used like similar things. So I don't know who she is at this point. I'm like, was she doing rock because that was the Disney type thing? Because I kind of had my suspicions that it was like tied to doing something that was popular in movies at the time, like finding a niche, trying to be Avril Lavigne or something like that with the first album. And then this one was just like musically, just the pop of the time, like pretty standard what everybody was putting out on pop records. So this was a lot worse for me for the first one just because of the style being one that I just don't like listening to as much. In terms of quality, there were like, you know, they're not like terribly constructed pop songs or anything like that. But I would never listen to any of this stuff again. Although, like you mentioned in the first album, like she's a phenomenal singer. As far as the vocals go, like it's clear she has all the talent in the world.
Yes. Okay. This album is kind of what made me have the theory of the first album that I think what she is contributing is the lyrics. And it also, oddly, that first album makes me want to go back and kind of dissect the Jonas Brothers songwriting a little bit in my free time.
And we'll have to come whenever we cover them someday.
Right. Well, because it's interesting because I think we both agree that the construction of most of the songs on the first album is stronger.
Yeah.
And they're the writers of that album, basically. She contributed what I'm assuming is lyrics, and I
Probably.
see the trend here again where she contributed lyrics
Mhm.
and other people are writing the music, and that's
Yeah.
fine. But I think the Jonas Brothers maybe helped that album a lot, and that's also why it sounded very Disney.
Yeah, could be.
So there's a positive and negative to it. I'm again objectively not a great album for a 33-year-old man to listen to,
No.
and this album falls in that same boat. I am disappointed in this album because I did say in the first album, like listening through the whole thing, I was like, well, it sounds like she could really become something.
Mhm.
Like, I think she had every possibility to become like the next Pink.
Sure.
We'll say, like, if she had leaned a little more into the rock and a little less into the pop, I could have totally seen that. Now, you already said it. I will continue saying it. She is quite the vocalist, and proof in the opening track of Heart Attack. I mean, just some of the vocals that she's hitting are incredible. I also just want to take a moment just to throw out there that we are saying she, her. Demi Lovato also accepts they, them pronouns, but has come out and said multiple times that she's fine with she, her, and is okay with it. So we're going to continue that. Just didn't want it to seem like we didn't know. You might not have
Like
known,
one of us didn't know.
but that's why I didn't even bother telling you in the first, because I'm like, we're going to say she, her. She's fine with she, her.
Okay.
But we are knowledgeable of the fact that it could be either or.
And I am also now knowledgeable of that fact.
Congratulations. Welcome to the future. I don't know what I was going to say.
Send me back.
Anyway, that's basically this album. It's a worse version, but with the vocals of somebody who has clearly matured. She's gone from 16 to like what, 21-ish, right around there, maybe 20.
I guess so.
So 2013, she's about 20 years old, and you could hear a difference in the voice. And so with that being said, I'm going to take us into, I'm just going to call it what it is. It's called Holy Fuck.
Okay, I did not see that.
It's Holy Fuck. And this album for me has multiple things that I really like and a couple things that I really don't. And it's weird because I feel like the first album I was kind of in the middle of the road for, and the second album I was in the more negative but really liked her vocal. I was, on a positive note, fucking blown away by her singing on this album.
Sure.
It almost felt like the songs were being written to test the limits of her voice. Like, some of the notes that she had to sing on this album were ridiculous. And they came out of nowhere, where they were all, she's singing and then she's singing higher and higher and higher and higher and higher and higher and higher. It's like, where are you going to stop? Extremely impressive vocals on this album.
Yeah.
Like, some of the most impressive overall vocals I've heard in a long time on this podcast. Maybe this whole season. I'd have to think back, but like, it was extremely impressive. Other things that I liked were a couple of the songs, and this album more than either of the first two cemented the fact that Demi Lovato writes her lyrics. Because there were some personal things that I knew because of my research that came up in these songs in a way that she had to have contributed the lyrics.
Sure.
Particularly the song 29.
Okay. Yeah, I got that vibe from that one.
Yeah.
It's the only one that with lyrics that I remember.
Yeah, and we'll talk about it. And it's as bad as the lyrics make it sound.
Yeah, it was pretty clear.
Yeah. But both of those things are huge positives for me. She's writing lyrics about her life, and I can listen to the lyrics and put the stories of her life together. And you and I both know that is like a bowl of warm milk to me that I will just lap at. I am the minister of milk.
That's true.
So big plus on that front. Another big plus is the fact that we have completely skewed away from like of the times pop, and this is a hard rock album. It's a
Yeah.
hard rock with a bit of pop
I
involved.
would
Like
say
a
it's pop punk, but with the distortion turned up a little.
That's probably a more accurate description, but it's way more edgy than the other one, and her voice fits it very well. All that being said, I think substantively, whatever, you know what I
Yeah.
mean.
Substantively.
Substantively, that's better. I like that. That's why you teach.
Yeah, I do my best.
And I might have just learned more than any of your students in a whole year in the world of AI.
That is definitely a strong possibility.
But substantively,
Makes
I
it
think
easier to
that
say.
this album lacks a little bit. I think that if you go under just the lyrics and some of the relatability of the songs, the actual tracks just feel very by the numbers. Like I've never heard any of these songs before. And I felt like about 30 seconds into them, I was predicting a bridge. I was predicting the chords as it went. Like it just felt very repetitive to me, like I've heard it before.
Yeah, that's totally fair. So I guess I'll jump in and say I was definitely at least as surprised as you were about
Yeah.
the direction of the music on this last
Right?
album. So again, it like went back into the positive column in terms of like if it's pop and it's not substantive. In terms of the music underneath, I'd rather that it was at least done with like a guitar, a bass, and drums because that's just what my ears like better
Sure.
than other things. That being said, like there was not that it wasn't all played well and that the studio musicians who recorded all these parts aren't excellent at what they do, but there was nothing music wise on this album that if you put like Alex Mason and I in the studio with those charts, like we'd record that whole album in a day and it would sound the same. And I'm not even that good.
Oh, shut up.
Like no,
That
I mean
had you
like you
until the
can be
last part.
like
You are
you
good.
can be like an amateur, but like if you can make your chord changes, because there's nothing more complex than chord changes. Like you don't need to learn riffs, you don't need to learn solos, you just need to be able to play some basic chords in 4/4.
I understand what you're saying, and I agree with you. Although I don't agree with you saying you're not very good,
Okay.
because I think we've had this fight forever. We'll have this fight till we're old and gray if we get there. That you are a much better musician than you think you are.
Okay. But that is beside the point here.
I know.
So, like, was it better to listen to? Yes. Was there anything particularly interesting about the songwriting? No.
No.
It felt to me, and just like this is, I guess, my counterpoint to what you had to say about her writing the lyrics, which is all good. The story's there and everything. It felt like try hardy. It felt like I am hard rock and I am punk and I am badass and I'm gonna say fuck in all my songs. And I'm middling to fair, says Keith. That's good. That's how I see myself as well. But like, sure, I know that you like a story in a song, but I just like in my book reading, don't care nearly as much about the plot if the prose is really interesting.
Yeah.
And I'm much more of a prose guy than a plot guy. And so to me, these lyrics felt a little immature and try hard.
I understand.
Writing about things that mattered to her, but like, and it's great that she's communicating them, but I just don't think, I wouldn't buy her book.
You know what, Nick? Here's what I'll say. I think maybe, I don't know if I'm going to say enough in my little blurb about her, but I think if you found out enough about her life, you might change your mind about reading her book.
Okay. Does she actually have a book?
I don't know.
I was just saying that as like her writing is not something that I would enjoy reading.
She does have 2 books.
Oh, how about that?
I'm going to tell you right now, probably not books that I'm going to read because she was 20 and 21 when she wrote them or when they came out, which means she was even younger when she wrote them.
Which means they were probably largely desperate, especially because of who she was at that time.
Yes. But maybe like a 35-year-old memoir from Demi Lovato, I might check that out. She's had a very up and down life, and we'll
Okay.
talk about it.
Okay.
All that to be said, I think we're done talking about
Yeah,
the
I think we can get
albums.
into it.
You know, extremely talented vocalist is the main takeaway that we should all know. So we'll start with some notes about Demi. And the unique thing, I was really struggling here because if I were to tell you, hey, there's a girl who got famous on the Disney Channel and then started a music career, there's nothing unique about that.
Be like the fourth person we've covered in
Right.
seasons.
Exactly. So, like, that in itself is not unique. Some of her struggles are unique, but there's other categories they're more apt to talk about. So I'm like, what do we get? And then I found a series of tweets, 2 tweets to be exact, in which Demi Lovato says, so today I was pulling into a parking space that some guys were standing in the middle of, and I almost backed in and hit them. And then the second tweet is, well, one of the guys was Sir Paul McCartney. So the unique thing is that she almost killed Paul McCartney by running him over with her car.
Wild.
I guess that could have also been a 6 degrees, but I thought that was a way more unique thing. Nobody else that we know of has almost run over Paul McCartney in their car.
Yes,
So
that's true.
that felt unique. Now, in terms of highlight, this is another one. I had a few different choices here. I could have just gone the easy choice and picked Demi.
Sure.
So the year 2013, Demi is her first album that went multi-platinum, maybe even her only album, I believe, that went multi-platinum.
I think you're right.
And it was an easy choice. However, I went with the year 2008. So Demi Lovato had been a child actress. She'd been on Barney and Friends. She'd been in a couple like law-based TV shows in her younger years. And then 2008, she got cast as the lead in a Disney Channel original movie called Camp Rock, which was Disney's second attempt at like a High School Musical styled full musical based thing. And it was her and it was the Jonas Brothers.
Ah, okay.
And she stood toe to toe with, at the time, an enormous band. I mean, Jonas Brothers in 2008 were everywhere and they were enormous. And she stood toe to toe to them vocally. Her acting was not bad for being 15 years old in a Disney Channel movie.
Sure.
And that and her album, her first album, Don't Forget, came out kind of right on top of each other. And all of a sudden, Demi Lovato exploded. She was everywhere. She was on Disney Channel all the time. She was on multiple shows, a bunch of movies. So it was really like such a strong foundation to her career that I think it's the highlight. Because if she doesn't get Camp Rock, she probably isn't who she is today.
It's cool. And I'm learning about all this stuff right now.
Sure. And but that I think is so interesting because she was everywhere except for where you were.
Wherever
and that's
I was,
great.
yeah.
You know, well, you're an older soul. You were listening to older music at the time. You didn't really you weren't a Disney Channel kid, so you know you wouldn't have seen this.
No, definitely not.
But those are definitely, I think that's the highlight. Now the low light, we're getting a little into it here. So there is a whole section of her Wikipedia, which I will read excerpts of. I'm not going to read the whole thing because it is long.
Okay.
It's long. It's like 5 paragraphs. And it's titled Mental Health and Substance Abuses. I'll let you know a little bit about where we're going here. So
I could have guessed that too from some of the lyrics.
Right. So some of the things that Demi Lovato has struggled with in her life, bulimia, self-harm. She went to rehab at 18 and, you know, things like that. She struggled. She mentioned that she began using opiates at the age of 13 after a car accident and then became addicted to them. And was already drinking at the age of 13 because she was an actress at the time. And
okay, I was going to say, I mean, this is sort of like the child actor experience.
Right, so drinking and opiates at a young age, you know. She started using cocaine by the age of 17. A lot of things like that. Most notably, she has stated that she has nearly overdosed multiple times. And there was one time she has mentioned on and off, there was no necessary time frame, but she has mentioned heroin use. So other opiates from an initial opiate addiction at a young age. One of the big things was her bodyguard actually like saved her life by like finding her while she was overdosing, and that was like kind of one of the big catalysts of her. And she actually suffered, I think it was 3 strokes and a heart attack due to the overdose, and has like permanent brain damage from it, including
Oh my God.
like blind spots in her vision where she can't drive anymore because of that.
Yikes.
So like, she's lived a hard life, getting addicted at such a young age before your brain is really developed, and then having to work your way through that. It seems like she's on the other side of it now, thankfully,
Yeah.
from what I can read. So that is it. There also was an incident in 2021 where she mentioned, the incident wasn't in 2021, to be clear. She mentioned in 2021 that at the age of 15, she was sexually assaulted while on the Disney Channel by a co-star who then she continued to work with on the show. A rough time for everybody involved. And by everybody, I mean her. Rough time for her. Fuck that, whoever that was. It's not been named who that was. So, a lot of lowlights for Demi Lovato.
Yeah.
Just to be clear. And it seems like she's come through on the other side. Meanest and nicest. Now, to be fair to Demi, this incident that I'm about to say in terms of the meanest was right in the middle of all of that.
Sure.
So the year 2010. So she just went from kind of struggling child actress to enormous Disney Channel star over the course of a couple years. And she, on November 1st, 2010, she was supposed to be on the Jonas Brothers live in concert tour. And she withdrew from it on that date. And then she entered a treatment facility. And the reason that happened was because she punched one of her backup dancers in the face after like kind of an emotional meltdown. So that was kind of the catalyst in which her family was able to finally intervene and convince her that she needed help.
Sure.
And I mentioned that she went into her first facility right before she turned 18. That is why.
Sure.
Or right when she turned 18, sorry, because that's right after she turned 18.
Okay.
So that is that. Now, the nicest things that she's done, I want to be clear. I said there's about 5 paragraphs for the meanest. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 decent paragraphs in terms of her philanthropy, her political activism, her human rights activism. An enormous page here. I recommend going and reading it yourself if you're listening to this. She has turned a huge negative in her life into a positive. She is an extremely active LGBT community member. She has been recognized by GLAAD. She was the Grand Marshal of the LA Pride Parade in 2014 and was the lead performer in New York City's Pride Week. Those are all just first paragraph things. She has also done a huge amount of raising awareness for mental health issues. She has spoken at the DNC. She was named a global citizen ambassador for championing mental health. She helped fund the expansion of a Save the Children pilot program in terms of displaced children in Iraq and other communities. She's a huge feminist. She partnered with Fabletics to create a limited edition activewear collection for UN Foundation, or for the UN Foundation. I could go on and on and on and on. I'm 3 paragraphs into a 7 paragraph thing. I'm not going to do that because we have a time limit here.
Fair.
Just to say, as much as there has been bad in her life, there has been good in her life. And she is the catalyst for the good in her life.
Right.
Throwing that all out there. Now, moving on to the 6 degrees as I wrap this up.
Sure.
I have 2. I have a real one and then I have a fun one just for you.
Oh, perfect.
So I mentioned earlier that she got her start on Barney.
Classic.
It is classic. And we've covered another artist who got her start on Barney and who has had a multi-year friendship with Demi Lovato, basically up until around 2017, it seems like, where their friendship ended. I'm not sure of the reasons why. There's speculation online, but no facts. And so I'm not going to add fuel to a years old fire at this point.
Sure.
For whatever reason, the two of them aren't friends. The person is Selena Gomez.
Oh.
So, started on Barney with Demi. They became friends, moved to Disney as friends, stayed friends, are no longer friends, and that's between them.
Sure.
But it's definitely a 6 degrees of Totem Talks. 6 degrees of Totem Talks. Yes.
Yes.
Now, the other one, the fun one.
Yeah, good.
Demi Lovato is a film person. She likes movies.
Sure.
And she has regularly said that one of her favorite movies, which she can quote verbatim, is Mean Girls, which stars Lindsay Lohan, who we covered on this podcast. And I said Lohan, people listening, because when we did the episode, we found out it was pronounced Lohan. Lindsay Lohan.
We did.
And that is Demi Lovato.
All right. It's time to move on in to Rihanna. Do you want to just roll?
I have to get the stuff up.
Oh, okay. That's fine. We'll wait then.
Yeah, I feel like that's the best bet. But yeah, some of that stuff, I mean...
yeah.
That's what I was saying. I was like, if you... hearing some of that stuff, you might be more interested in reading her book now, right?
For a completely different reason. I was saying, like, in terms of if she started writing novels, I would not read her novels.
I know. That's why I mentioned memoir.
Yeah.
Because I think she's somebody who might have an interesting story to tell the entirety of from her point of view.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's also why I wanted to kind of pound home that she is our age.
Yeah.
Like all that stuff happened and she's our age. It's crazy.
Sure. Yeah, it is pretty crazy.
It's crazy, dude. It's crazy. It was crazy to me reading about it and doing the research, and I was like, I need to somehow condense this into a relatively quick blurb, but it's very hard to do. Yeah. I wish I could take some of the time that I had to extend from some of the other artists where I'm like, there's no information about the philanthropy of this band. Like, this band has one album.
Yeah.
Doesn't work like that, though. All right, no. I am ready. Okay. So
I'm ready too.
We're just going to keep rolling then. So we're going to say Robin Fenty, known as Rihanna. Robin Rihanna Fenty is a Barbadian singer, businesswoman, and actress. We'll use that last one a little loosely. I've seen Battleship. No offense, Rihanna. 2003 to the present day, so very similar in terms of years active to Demi Lovato. Rihanna's a little older, so she is 37 currently, so still in the same realm. We're talking similar generations of listeners here.
That's right.
We covered 3 albums. We started with 2005's Music of the Sun. We followed that up with Good Girl Gone Bad from 2007, and then Anti, depending, from 2016.
That's all correct.
That is all correct. We did it.
All right, so I'll go over the basics here first for Music of the Sun, just to make sure everybody knows where we're coming from. I recognized one title of all of these songs.
Really?
Which was Pon de Replay.
Okay, good. So it's the
one. I listened to it, and it was like vaguely familiar.
Yeah.
It was like I've heard it before, but like I know Rihanna songs, and I thought it would be one of the ones that I wouldn't recognize and know the words to. It wasn't really. It was only like a vague recognition, strangely enough. There are 12 tracks on this record. There are 24 writers. Rihanna is one of them on a couple of tracks. But she is not a writer on most of the tracks. And this record does have a lot of the pitfalls of pop music from the 2000s that would make it something that I would not like at all pretty much instantly. However, it does also have like a mix of organic instrumentation, like more than I was expecting on some of the songs. Or there were also some like very rough sounding imitations of organic instruments on some of the songs, but they were trying to make it sound like
There
that.
was an attempt made.
There was an attempt. There was some reggae influence on some of the songs that was nice for me. The vocals were good. Not Demi Lovato in terms of her total ability, in my opinion. There were some interesting melodies at times. So I found more positives on this record than I thought. But the strangest thing of all to me was, despite the fact that this was a pop album that was like basically the whole job of these writers is to make it only hooks and like just constantly bringing in attention, I found every single one of these songs boring as fuck. I almost fell asleep in the middle of every one of them. And I don't know if it's the songwriting or if it was the producing. But the problem was, like, even if the songs came at you hard right away and like were super upbeat, nothing changed. They would be like 4 to 5 minutes long, and it would be the same thing on a loop, and there would be like no change in dynamics or build and instrumentation. And it's like, I know the song is up in my face and I'm supposed to be dancing to it, but like, you need movement in a song. It can't just be like the same exact thing on loop for 5 straight minutes. So I actually, like, again, it was not as bad of an experience as I thought it might have been going in, but I was just surprised at how boring the songwriting was.
Sure. Okay. Here we go. I agree with a lot of what you're saying. The songs are a bit repetitive, and here is the big difference to me. This album is not a pop album. It is a dance pop album. Yeah. And so the whole thing is, it's not made for people to listen to.
Yeah.
It's made for people to dance to. And so there doesn't need to be movement because the human beings will be the movement.
Sure.
That is the whole point of the album. All that being said, as a listen, it's bad. It's a bad listen. It is boring. And here's the thing, some positives and some negatives, as I was doing before. Rihanna's a good singer.
Yeah.
I don't think it's showcased here nearly as much as it probably will be showcased later. I won't spoil. But you can tell that there's talent here. You can tell she's a good singer. We're starting a little later in terms of like, so this is 2005, whereas Demi Lovato's was 2008. Mm-hmm. There's a 5-year difference in their age, which means she's about 18 instead of 15. Right. So it's very close in terms of years, and she's just a little bit older. Now, she is not writing nearly anything on this album. She is credited as a writer on like 4 of the songs. 13 songs.
Yeah.
And she's like the 4th listed. So there's a big difference there because Demi Lovato was the first credited writer, which is why I believe it was lyrics. Yeah. I don't know what Rihanna is contributing on these. I don't hear a story. I don't feel a story.
Like melodic ideas or something.
Right. It could even be she's credited as, some melodic, some riff that she went for, something like that. This album was an album where I was more disappointed than excited.
Sure.
As in, like, her talented vocals did not do enough to soothe the burn that is the album to me. But we'll go into Good Girl Gone Bad. And I think, Nick, this is an album where you'll have heard of the songs, at least a couple of them.
2.
A couple. 2's a couple. Mm-hmm. And we're going to start with the big one, Umbrella, which I very, very accurately portrayed in the beginning.
It
I don't
felt
know where
like you were in a minor key for some reason. I don't know.
Look, maybe the song is just a minor song, Nick.
Yeah.
Who knows? What I did not really remember was Jay-Z's featuring of the song. And I was like, I could have done without that.
Well, he's the one who discovered her. So, that's why he
for sure
features.
That's fine. Again, could have done without it.
Agreed.
And that's all it is.
Not his best work.
Not his best work. And I'll be honest with you. It maybe is Rihanna's best work. Maybe not. It's fine. She, again, is singing well.
Yeah,
This album, I think, skews more pop than dance pop, although there's still some beat driven songs and less substance driven songs. And once again, we're looking at very little in terms of her involvement. Although Cynthia Whale is one of the writers on this song.
yeah. I think they're just using samples.
Oh, you know what? Thank God you said that.
Yeah,
Okay, because just for anybody who doesn't really do this as much as we do, reading the writers on a list of songs and trying to parse when it's samples or credited writers is difficult sometimes.
sure.
And I feel like I would have known if Lionel Richie and Cynthia Whale
Right.
contributed on one of
Or Michael
Rihanna's songs
Jackson.
on this album. Yo, Michael Jackson. There's some interesting ones here.
Mhm.
All that to say, not a fan of this album again for the second time in a row, which is what it is. Also, I feel like there was a couple songs where it was like, why did you name it this? You named it after another song that's very popular.
That does happen sometimes.
The big one here is Rehab for me.
Sure.
It's like a song called
Agreed.
Rehab. It came out in 2007. I'm like, is this a Rihanna cover of Rehab? Because I
Yeah.
feel like I would have heard it.
True.
And it wasn't. It was not that. And it also was nowhere near as good as the song Rehab by Amy Winehouse.
Not at all.
Just saying. The big thumbs down for me on this album, though, was actually a song called Hate That I Love You.
Yeah.
And it was a song where I saw it because I was driving to work when the song came on. Actually, no, I was driving to Allentown when the song came on. And I I saw it and I was like, oh, featuring Neo in 2007. That's huge because Neo in the early to mid 2000s was great and was everywhere and was a big R&B singer. So I'm expecting like much more than I got, we'll say. One, the song itself didn't really feature good vocals from either one of them. It featured just kind of super chill vocals where neither of them really pushed it and they weren't really harmonizing well together. It didn't even feel like they were trying to.
Right.
It almost felt like they each recorded half the song and never met and then they got mixed together. And that was rough. And then I guess the other part, which I don't know if you would have picked up on this because it's a lyric thing. The lyrics were like super fucking toxic.
That
Just like incredibly toxic of like, it's like it's trying to be romantic by saying like, I hate everything about you, but I also love you. And I hate that I love you because I hate everything about you. It's like, no, you just shouldn't be anywhere near each other. It's toxic as hell. Go away.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a pretty common theme in media from the 2000s
Yeah.
and before.
Not a fan.
Okay, here is the thing. I said I knew 2 songs. You mentioned one that I knew. The other one that I knew was Don't Stop the Music.
Yeah.
So I was aware of that one. There were 12 tracks still. There were 29 writers this time, but I didn't see Rihanna's name on any of them.
No.
What I think is the positive here is the production is better than the first album. It's clear that they're invested in her as an artist now. And I think the songwriting was a little less boring, even if it at the same time lost any of those redeeming qualities that I found on the first album. Essentially, like they did music I hate better.
Sure.
And that's what I'll give them credit for this record. I did not enjoy it at all.
I'm not surprised.
Moving on to Anti. Now, this album has 13 tracks, so we've moved up 1 track.
Hey.
We have moved up to 50 different credited writers on those 13 tracks. However, Rihanna's name is somewhere on basically all of them, except for one. And the interesting part about that one is the first 8 tracks on this album were garbage to me. I hated all of them. They were all very bad dance pop songs. Track 9, though, was a cover of a Tame Impala song.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
And I'm listening to it for 30 seconds. So I'm like, is this a Tame Impala song? And then I looked up the album and it said Kevin Parker, writer. And I was like,
Uh-huh.
oh, okay. Um, so she covered a Tame Impala song, and that was nice because I like Tame Impala. And then there were like a couple of songs from there to the end that were good. Like
Uh-huh.
Love on the Brain was kind of a cool little like doo-woppy with organic instruments. It was in 6/8 instead of 4/4 that you heard with that we probably heard for every single song on these 6 records up until this point. So it was a nice break. Higher had a really, really great vocal on it. So, like, after she decided to cover Tame Impala, the rest of it, like the last 4 tracks, were
Mhm.
probably the best segment. I would take those last 4 or 5 tracks over the other 5.5 albums that we listened to this week.
Sure. Listen, I can understand what you're saying. I don't know if I fully agree with that last sentence, but I fully agree that the last 5 tracks of this album were far and away the best we heard of Rihanna.
Oh, yeah. Not even close. I mean, I'll never listen to anything we covered this week ever again. But if you told me I had to, I would pick the last 5 tracks of this album.
That's fair. That's fair. So my opinion on this album, first things first, I didn't look at the year this album came out.
Yeah, strange,
Didn't
right?
didn't look at it. So I'm just like I made a playlist of them. I'm driving, I'm listening to them, and then I hear Work come on. And my brain is like, there's no way this album came out, or there's no way this song came out in the last 4 to 5 years, which is what I'm assuming Rihanna's
Sure.
most recent album would have been.
Right.
Because I've heard the song. I'm like, I
Yeah,
know
sure.
that song, and I've heard that song.
I've seen
For too
commercials or
many
something
years.
that have that.
And then I'm like, okay. So then I know that I'm off on my year and that this is an earlier album.
Mhm.
And I'm like rerouting that. And then she fucking did it again. She did the whole thing where she has a song with a very popular name that is not the song. And it's Desperado.
Yeah.
And I see Rihanna and the song called Desperado. And I'm like, well, then why do you have that? And it's not a cover of the Desperado that we know and love.
Her version of Higher was not a cover of Creed either.
I wish it was.
Yeah,
I
me
wish it
too.
was now. Even though it was a good song, I
Yeah.
wish it was. But just all that to say, the first 8 tracks of this album are garbage.
Yep.
They're just actual garbage. Work is fine, and by fine I mean it's at least a little boppy. It's not good, and it's not
No.
a song I want to listen to.
No.
But if it's a song that's on, I'll do like this move. I'll be like, all right, like I'm bopping to it.
Sure.
I'm not liking it, but I'm bopping
But
to it.
yeah, right. It's inevitable.
Yeah. Now, I was blown away by the last 5. And the big thing that I was really, and this is what I was saving it for. I have always known that Rihanna could sing.
Right.
I've always known that, but I didn't know how I knew it. And I was like, what do I, but like, I'm listening to the songs and the albums, and over again, I keep thinking, like, why isn't she singing well? Like, she's singing fine, but
Right.
like, where is her like letting loose what I can hear in here? And then finally, we get some of it.
Yeah.
On the last 5 tracks of her last released album, for I guess for now. And it was great. I mean, Same Old Mistakes was a really good cover. Love on the Brain is the song that I was thinking of, which I think is arguably her best vocal overall. I think it has the right level of emotion and talent involved in it to be a solid and, if not good, performance.
Yeah.
I think it is a really good performance. All that to say, like, if Rihanna were to take these 5 tracks and in like 2026 be like, I liked those and here's a whole album like that,
Yeah, I'd give that a
I
shot.
might listen to the whole thing and be really excited about it.
Sure.
And that's basically it. Rihanna as a whole was confusing to me because I just feel like Rihanna is everywhere, and I thought the music would be a little stronger,
Sure.
and it wasn't. I'm
Understandable.
sorry.
Understandable. Okay. So I'm going to talk facts about Rihanna.
Do
I'm
it.
gonna get the negative stuff out of the way first. As far as mean goes, I was having a hard time with mean too. But I did manage to find a couple of Reddit threads where people were talking about her being mean to other celebrities on Twitter. So I guess she's not like super friendly to other celebrities on social media.
Oh no. I mean,
Don't
depending on the celebrity, who cares? But
Yeah. I largely don't care about that at all. Um, and then also to get the other negative out of the way, to go with the low light, her relationship and abuse with Chris Brown, how that
yeah.
became kind of a media spectacle around it. Um, I mean, even I knew that that was a thing at the time. So if that lets you know how
How everywhere it was.
how everywhere it was, I
Yeah.
was aware of it. But then to get into the more positive stuff, I'm going to start with her highlight, which I'm calling July 1st, 2015, because that was the day that she became the very first artist, and at the time only, I don't know if that's still the case, to have 100 million in digital singles sold,
Wow.
which is more. She has sold more singles than any other artist in history.
Wow.
So the day that she became that, broke that record. I think that's a fair career highlight instead of going with, again, like another very popular album. As far as
So Nick, I can give you
go
just a
ahead.
quick little blurb here to follow up.
Yeah, sure.
Some other artists as of recently. So these are just some numbers according to Google.
Hmm.
Beyonce has 144 million today,
I believe it. Sure.
roughly today. Bruno Mars 149
I
roughly.
would guess that maybe
Taylor
Adele.
Swift 149 roughly. Eminem 157 million roughly.
Okay.
Rihanna 251 million now.
Yeah.
Just showing that she is still quite literally almost doubling the competition.
Yeah. She
There
is
we
the
go.
singles queen. And that, I'm going to say, leads best into her unique fact, which is that she is, and no one else can be this, I checked, the world's wealthiest female musician. No other female musicians have as much money as Rihanna does, and her net worth is $1.7 billion.
Are you shitting me?
I am not. I would
Rihanna
like
is
to tax away 90% of it, but yes, Rihanna is a billionaire.
I mean, I knew
You gotta
Savage. I knew Savage Fenty, like, because it's her like merch
She
lines.
has, she has all that stuff going on, which
Yeah, I
I found
mean,
out about this week.
Jesus.
Yeah,
I
she's
thought
worth a
you
lot
were
of money.
being facetious because Taylor Swift exists, but
No.
holy crap! Yeah, Savage X Fenty, or like I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce it. I know that's like her like lingerie and like line. I know that was very popular.
Sure.
But like Jesus, and Fenty Beauty is like also probably a lot of that.
Yeah,
But
I
like
would imagine.
holy,
Yeah, it's a lot of money, and I think the government should take it all.
Look,
90%
Nick,
of it.
you and I aren't going to disagree on that at all. I'm just saying, like, wow.
But here is the thing. That actually leads us into the nice part. So she is worth a fuck ton of money. And I am not going to even go into detail because the number of charitable endeavors that she has given tons and tons of money and free concerts and, like charity singles and all these different things like uh, AIDS, HIV, cancer, humanitarian efforts, children who've suffered from abuse, climate change action, like every great cause that you can think of, she has given like tons and tons and tons of money to. So I ended up liking Rihanna quite a bit by the end of this week because of that stuff. Oh, and also she just straight up said no to the NFL about doing the 2020 Super Bowl halftime show in solidarity with Kaepernick. So,
I mean, she did then do a Super Bowl halftime show.
did she?
She did.
I don't even remember. I couldn't tell you who's done the Super Bowl halftime show since like Prince. I think that might
Not
be the
even the
last one I
one that
remember.
the Eagles just won.
I have no idea who played the halftime show.
Kendrick
I watched.
Lamar.
Oh, that's right. I was gonna say I watched every second of the game, but like I have no idea who does the halftime. Like I don't give a shit about the halftime show. That's when I go and pee. Like always. no matter who it is. That's when I'm ready to like leave the room and stretch my legs.
I understand. Now, here's the thing, Nick. Here's why I'm disappointed in you.
Oh, go ahead.
Rihanna played the halftime show for the Eagles Chiefs first time Super Bowl.
Did she really? A
Yes.
game that I watched every second of, and a halftime show that I probably got up and peed and like made snacks and paid no
So,
attention to because I don't ever watch the halftime show. I hate the Super Bowl halftime show. I just want more football.
Nick, you and I are like minds here. Although, I mean, to be clear, Kendrick Lamar fucking killed it on the halftime show.
I believe you.
He killed it. And so did Rihanna. And I believe, if I remember correctly, now I'm trying to remember, but I believe it like Rihanna like basically revealed that she was pregnant by entering the stage during the Super Bowl halftime show, visibly pregnant. And nobody knew she was pregnant. And then like the world kind
Nobody's
of exploded.
business, man.
Again, you're not going to get me to say anything different. I'm just mentioning that.
Okay, yeah. Again, all news to me. But she at least declined it, I guess, the year that protesting was a big thing.
Yeah, good for her.
And then my 6 degrees, I'm also going to mention Sir Paul McCartney in mine because she actually collaborated on a song with Paul McCartney called 4 or 5 Seconds. And Kanye West is also featured on this song.
Okay.
So that doesn't age super well. And also the backing vocals on that track are performed by Wilson Phillips. So just imagine a collaboration, your casual Rihanna, Kanye, Paul McCartney, and Wilson Phillips. The thing that everyone was clamoring for. Artists whose
Very
fans
strange.
all like commingle all the time.
Yeah,
Like,
that's not a Venn diagram. It's just a circle.
it's just a circle.
Or it's just a group of circles that absolutely don't touch. Either way.
So yeah. That's what I
Okay.
got.
Hey, with that being said, man, let's grade them.
I would love to. So I think there's a clear winner for cultural impact. Although I guess I found out that Demi Lovato was more famous than I realized.
Right. And so that was
But
the whole
ain't
thing.
nobody more famous than Rihanna.
Rihanna is definitely going to win this category. I do think that Demi Lovato deserves a higher score than I think you would particularly would want to give her going into this.
Yeah.
So I mean, we're not even. I
mean,
am
anyone
definitely
who's still selling gold and platinum records in the 2010s clearly has a following because by that point people were just not really buying albums anymore. So you have to like be very popular to have certifications on non-singles.
Yeah, I completely agree. Just a couple things here. So she obviously has been in a bunch of Disney Channel films. That was like a whole thing.
Right.
She was also on a few different TV shows. A lot of Disney Channel stuff as well. Disney Channel original movies. But she also was a judge on the X Factor for a couple years there, which, you know, she's done a lot of things to keep herself culturally relevant.
Sure.
Moving on to like RuPaul's Drag Race, and like she had like little guest spots on a bunch of different shows. She had herself a show in 2021, the Demi Lovato show.
Who would have known?
Right? She was on The Masked Singer.
Yeah, she's done her very best to be everywhere except for where I would be looking.
And that's totally fine.
Literally, yeah.
This is not me arguing for Demi Lovato to get a like stratospheric score, but I do think that she's like very comfortably above average.
So while you were giving that, I did a quick fact check from our first spreadsheet of the first 4 seasons.
Yeah.
And I think a couple of fair comps come up. You mentioned someone who was basically in a very, and we gave Selena Gomez a 7. And I would be okay giving.
I think that is, I'm gonna say, to be fair, if Selena Gomez got a 7, Demi Lovato should probably get like a 6.7. She's a little bit under. I think Selena Gomez has kind of elevated past her.
Sure. The other comp that comes up in terms of the score that we could attribute to Rihanna is Taylor Swift. And we gave
Yeah.
Taylor Swift a 9.8. And Rihanna is the most popular selling singles artist in the history of music. She's she's got all of her different business ventures. She's a billionaire. I think she's one of the most famous people on the entire planet for like the last 20 straight years.
I agree with you on all of that. I think
doesn't write the music. So if you want to
yeah.
knock something,
Other scores are going to get knocked down for that.
Yeah.
I'm not even knocking that. I'm not knocking this for that. I'm thinking for me, just the effect of Taylor Swift. I think in the thing, like in just
I guess there's not a cult surrounding Rihanna
and
that I know of. There might be. I don't know.
Right. Not that I'm aware of, though. And I think
but I'm aware of what Swifties are. So that in and of itself is a thing. So I could go like to a 9.6 or something.
I think a 9.6 is exactly what I was thinking. I think it's a little bit under, just like we did with Demi. It's just a little bit under. I think Taylor Swift, like for instance, so you're familiar with the Kelsey's podcast, right? New Heights.
Yes, I know that it exists.
So Taylor Swift was just on it.
Sure.
I watched the episode, and when I started watching the episode, it had 4 million views. And it's a 2-hour long episode. And when I was done watching the episode and I refreshed the page, it had 10 million views.
That checks out.
Over the course of 2 hours, it gained 6 million views. And when they did the live reveal of it, which I was not there for, it had 1.3 million live viewers.
Yeah, okay.
So that's the Taylor Swift effect.
Yeah. It's not healthy, honestly.
Swifties, I did not say that. You do you. I also am a Swiftie. Maybe not to that level, but I very much love and respect Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
We're good. We're good. We're good.
Okay.
Breadth
of work.
We're good.
They've each released 8 albums.
Yes, they have.
So they each started a 5.2.
Sure.
I think Demi Lovato, did you get like a total album sales number? It's a few million for sure.
Yeah, I'm going to pull up the discography just to.
It's enough to knock her up a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, she's definitely enough that she's getting bumped up a bit. I didn't see any total sales. I've seen roughly 9.7 million total albums with 23.9 million downloads and 7.7 billion streams.
Okay.
I
don't know how to do the streaming math in my head very quickly to
right. It's enough that I would probably say we give her maybe a 0.3.
Okay.
I think that's fair because multiple platinums as well. A lot of
definitely
spread amongst her albums.
Yeah. Okay. So a 5.5, and then we can do with that what we please in terms of quality.
Yeah. So here's what I would, if you would have told me that I was planning to do this before the episode, I would have laughed at you. I'm going to give Demi Lovato 0.2.
And I will do nothing with her score because I'm taking 0.2 away.
Hey, you're taking 0.2 away from her?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
There was not an album I would ever revisit. They all, at their best, it was juvenile pop rock that wasn't as harsh on my ears as pop done in a different way.
I fully agree. The 0.2 for me was strictly how fucking impressive her vocals were.
Sure.
Throughout. I was not expecting it. I knew Demi Lovato could sing. Mm-hmm. I did not know Demi Lovato could sing like that.
Sure.
I just was unaware. I was unfamiliar with your game, Demi.
Okay.
Let me and Nick write your songs, though.
Yeah, agreed.
Me and Nick would like them a lot better if you let us write
them. That's a great point. We would.
We'd only take 2% too. Not a lot of money.
No, not at all. So Rihanna's going to be interesting in terms of how much we add here, because we have to add significant points. In terms of just her album sales, she has about 60 million. So in terms of singles, she has 250 million more. I don't think we need to credit that as 250 million additional albums, but I think she needs to be treated as having sold over 100 million for our purposes.
I'm fine giving her the cap, which is a 0.5. We
No,
have
0.5 is not the cap for that.
I thought we
0.5 is
did.
0.5 is for every added on for every 50 million records sold. So
so you
if
want to
you
give her
sell
a
100
full
million
point.
records, you get a point. If you sell 250 million records, you get 2.5 points.
So you want to give her a full point. That's fine.
Right.
I understand. She deserves it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we mostly just like established the bare minimums or
Right
for things, but like that every 50 million is a recurring half point for sure.
That's fine with me.
Okay,
cool.
I'm also just I'm gonna take away 0.2 from Rihanna.
Yeah, I'm also gonna take away 0.2 from Rihanna. I mean, everything I just said about being unfamiliar with Demi's game, I felt like I was like tricked about Rihanna's game.
Mm-hmm.
I just didn't hear the vocal ability that I had been like
until the very end.
had been like Mandela affected to believe existed. Sure. I don't think she's a bad singer.
Not at all.
But like people were comparing her to like Beyonce and shit. And I don't think she's the same singer Beyonce is.
Yeah.
Nothing against her. And again, hearing all the things about her as a person, definitely nothing against her.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. That brings us to instrumental talent, which we've already hinted at. Like, they're both very good singers. Demi Lovato is significantly better. The main knock on her is going to be the instrumentals. I mean, like the music behind her. Like, I liked the music of her first and third album more than any of the other albums we listened this week, just because it was guitar, bass, and drums.
But it was simple.
But there was nothing on there that every single rock band that we've covered on the show from season 1 on couldn't have played. There was just nothing that wasn't simple chord changes in 4/4. There were no riffs. There were no solos. There were no interesting parts or meter changes or anything.
I'm gonna say maybe Small Pools couldn't have done it.
I mean, maybe, but I don't know.
Small Pools was rough. Or what's that? Oh no, Nick. Oh no.
Oh, you're thinking the Jesus and Mary Chain maybe couldn't have done it because they didn't even have all their
probably couldn't have done it. You're right, but there's another group. Oh man, I'm gonna need your help. They recorded their first album in like the like janitor's closet of their high school or something, and it was like really bad, and we hated it. And then like the second album was like okay.
Yeah.
You remember like a little bit? Oh no.
I do remember that, and I cannot say.
Oh
for sure
no, my
right
brain
off the top of my head.
Okay. Damn.
I know. It might have been. Was it this season?
No, it was a couple years ago.
Okay. Well, we'll never know. But anyway,
there's no way of knowing.
I wanted to get that in. Like everything behind these two as singers is done capably by studio musicians, but like the music in and of itself is pulling these scores down of their vocals because there was not a single thing impressive in the instrumentals of these songs.
Sure. Okay.
So that's where I live.
Yeah. So, man, I don't know what number to give them.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, here's the thing. Let's try to separate them and then average out.
Yeah.
I think we're probably looking at, to be fair, a 5 instrumentally. Mm-hmm. Nothing flashy, but nothing bad. Very by the numbers. That screams average to me.
I would even say it's more like a 4 just because of it's that, but it's super basic. If it was that, but there were any other things that the instrumentals had to be able to do other than strum chords.
Well, let's meet in the middle then. At the instrumental is a 4.5.
Yeah.
So vocally, I think Demi Lovato's probably in like the 9s.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Like an incredible singer with a huge range.
Don't disagree with that at all.
So all that probably averages out to like in the 7 range.
And I'm totally okay with that too. That works for me.
Cool.
I'll even give her a 7.6 because I'm feeling super generous today. And the next 2 categories are where things are going to start going south for both of these artists.
You know what, Nick? Okay, so before we say that, I just need to say something that I'm very interested by.
Okay.
So I saw a little blurb because I'm looking for notes for later categories as we're going here. Mm-hmm. And I saw something that said Demi Lovato is the 11th most popular musician on Instagram.
Interesting.
the most followed. And so then I'm like, interesting, who is above her?
Right.
Would you believe that she is the 11th and the 12th is Rihanna? They
Fascinating.
are right next to each other. But Demi
Fascinating.
Lovato has more Instagram followers, which I was not expecting.
It may be that the slight shift in ages of the fans
Very well could be.
could account for a difference that small.
Not necessarily something that's adding points, just a little anecdote
it
since
is
we were
interesting.
covering both of them.
I agree. All right, I'm going to use that same logic for Rihanna, and I'm going to give her like a 6.
Okay. All right. Okay. So can we do the math? Can we do the math?
Oh yeah, that's fine. I was just
because
I was just assuming down like a point and change.
yeah, you're probably right. I'm just thinking like if we were going to give the musicians like a 4.5 for Demi, for Rihanna, a lot of it's electronic.
Yeah, I mean there are organic instruments on every one of those albums, and then it's mixed in like I don't know. I mean, all of Demi's second album was that way too.
For sure. I'm not even saying you're wrong. I just wanted to make sure that the math was mathing for me. What vocally?
I was giving her credit for like being a 7 or a low 7 vocally compared to like the 9s for.
Let's do this. My brain will feel better if we give her a 5.8 instead of a 6.
Sure.
I just feel like she should be in the 5s.
There are no
combined.
hills here that I'm gonna die on.
No,
in this episode.
My brain just heard 6 and like literally short circuited because I was like, wait.
Okay. Can we just agree that in the places where these artists contribute, it's not in the songwriting?
It is not in the songwriting. They both get a 0.1 to me.
And then we go to lyrics.
For sure.
In which case, Rihanna is again going to be sub 1 because she was not on many songs. And then at the end, like again, it's unclear what she's contributing because she's on every song with 7 other people by the last album too.
The quagmire of the writing credits.
I'd be willing to give her half a point because I think
that is generous, and I will agree with you. Let's give her half a point. Now, Demi Lovato is an interesting case because I don't think all the lyrics are great or even good. No, some of them are good. None of them are great.
No. Definitely.
Some of them are good, and a chunk of them are meh to fine to whatever. But it seems like she's writing the lion's share of the lyrics on most of them.
Sure. So she gets credit for actually doing it.
Right. So I think this is an actual score based on 8 albums of lyrics.
Correct. I agree with you there. And to me, it's still definitely below average.
It's definitely below average. It's I'm between
I rolled my
3.5 and a 4.5.
All of them.
Yeah.
I mean, there were almost no lyrics that I didn't kind of go, okay, at some point in the song.
I was between a 3.5 and a 4.5, probably leaning under.
Low. I'm not going into the 4s.
That's fine. Maybe like a 3.6 then?
I'll give it to you.
I think there's enough there. I think there's enough substance in the lyrics that it's, in that realm of comfortably below average, but not actively awful.
Sure. Okay. I suppose we should talk about X Factor. Do you have anything specific?
So I have a couple things.
Okay.
For Demi Lovato. Now, the big thing for me is I think I want to talk about the X Factor, the show, not the score.
Right.
Because she was in 2012, she was the youngest host or the youngest judge in the show's history and actually holds the Guinness World Record for it. She got awarded a Guinness World Record for that little fact, which I thought was cool.
Agreed.
Other than that, I mean, I don't necessarily know. I do want to take the time because I did not mention it in her factoids. The song 29 is about Wilder Valderrama, who was Fez from that 70s show, if you don't know who he is. Okay. Wilder Valderrama was 29 when him and Demi Lovato became friends. And then, like, less than a month after she turned 18, they were dating, but it was very obvious that they were dating before that.
Right.
And it's also pretty obvious that he probably kind of groomed her into it.
Right.
And the lyrics will tell you that she now realizes that as well.
Yeah.
I remember that being a big deal when it happened because it was a huge age difference. For the most part, though, I think the biggest thing, like maybe like a 0.1 or 2 for the whole Guinness World Records X Factor thing, I think would be fair.
So you just want a 0.1 or a 0.2?
Yeah, I don't think. I mean, I think the rest of it was kind of covered.
Okay. Well, I'll give her the 0.2 because I'm in a generous mood. I do think there are some points here for Rihanna. Other than being, I mean, the things that we mentioned that I think are worth consideration here is one, having the most single sales of all time, but also having it based on everyone else you mentioned, being first by like 100 million.
It's big.
To be first by like 100 million is a lot. And also, she's the wealthiest female musician in history.
Both big.
Things I didn't mention, but could mean something here. She has 9 Grammys, 12 Billboard Music Awards, 13 American Music Awards, 8 People's Choice Awards. She won the Icon Award at the American Music Awards, the Michael Jackson Video Vanguard Award. She holds 6 Guinness World Records, actually.
Nice. Good for her.
Indeed. And she has been named by Billboard the top artist of the past 20 years. She had the most entries with 36, the most top 10 songs with 23, the most number 1 songs with 10.
All right. You're making me feel bad. Here's the thing. We're obviously going to give Rihanna the 0.5. She's earned the 0.5. That is the cap for this category. I remember.
5 points.
Oh shit! It's 5 full points. That's crazy.
5 full points.
Are we giving her 5 full points?
I don't know that we need to give her 5 full
That's
points.
wild.
But we could give her like 2 to 3 points.
Yeah, maybe. Let's give her 2.6 points.
You got it.
And I hope it doesn't make a difference in the math.
You got it.
I hope whoever would have won wins anyway, and the 2.6 isn't the difference. But I do want to just be fair to Demi Lovato because you listed a lot of things, and I should have done that as well. I'm not going to change her score, but Demi Lovato has won an MTV Video Music Award, holds a Guinness World Record, has an iHeartRadio Much Music Video Award, 2 Latin American Music Awards, 5 People's Choice Awards, 2 Grammy Awards, or 2 Grammy nominations, sorry. An American Music Award, 4 Billboard Music Awards, 3 Brit Awards, and is the 8th most awarded solo artist at the Teen Choice Awards with 14 wins.
Nice.
She's also a 2013 New York Times bestselling author. She topped the 2013 list for her book.
It's
the
not
truth.
Speak well of readers.
I'm just reading the truth.
I believe you.
In 2015, she was honored with the Rule Breaker Award at the Billboard Women Music event. She has many. In 2016, for her activism in the LGBT rights movement, she won a GLAAD Vanguard Award. She was named to Forbes 30 Under 30 list in the music category, and was listed as in the 2017 Times 100 most influential people of the year 2017. She was on that list.
Sure. Yeah, I'm sure Rihanna's been on that list many times. I just think that's kind of the difference between these two is like Demi Lovato has like 3 of those awards, and it's like, Rihanna has 10 of them. And Demi has 2. Like that's the difference in their careers thus far as they have played out over the last 20 years.
Definitely agree with you. I think a 2.6 is a good X factor for Rihanna. A ton of accolades and success for her, for sure.
All right, I've got final scores, and I will tell you this. When it comes to the X factor, the difference in the scores there is the difference in the final scores.
Oh, no.
It was. Okay. It did come down to that. It was going to be close.
Okay.
Either way. But winning this week is Rihanna with a 24.4.
Wow. Okay.
And Demi Lovato with a 23.7.
Damn, it really was the X factor. That's crazy.
It was the X factor. I mean, I think it was deserved. I think she had to get some points there. But that was the difference.
Listen, I get it.
Contribute. I mean, before that, it was the difference between contributing lyrics consistently and not. And that's what flipped it back, and then it flipped back again at the end.
Well, here's the thing. I guess you can get away with not contributing lyrics if you sell 250 million digital streams
Yeah,
or
I mean
digital
that's the
downloads.
lesson, kids.
Yeah, like all you need to do is sell roughly 251 million total digital downloads. And you too could just not even write a lyric, and that's fine.
Yeah, that's a great point. And that reminds me, next time to come back because we're gonna do like solo artists again, but completely different. We're gonna go like to the '70s singer songwriter as opposed to the 2000s pop
Oh, so
diva.
we're not covering Demi Lovato again?
Not for a little while. Not
In-
not
okay.
until we've covered every other artist in existence, and then we restart and we regrade, like we reschedule every musician,
Okay, so like
and that way we'll
season
add in like the newest album.
308,
Yeah, something like
we'll
that.
be back. Okay, I understand.
Yeah.
I'm with you. Hey, man, congratulations to Demi Lovato. Congratulations to Rihanna. I will say I was surprised by both of you.
Sure.
I was
Yeah.
surprised
I mean, it was
in the
mostly a
music
surprise.
by Demi, and I was
Yeah.
surprised outside the music by Rihanna.
Excellent.
So, kudos. An episode that I was not expecting to be as positive as it was on
Yeah,
either end.
it could have been a lot meaner,
Yes, and
and it has
musically,
been in the past.
yeah. Well, it is what it is. But listen, guys, listeners, I need you to do me a favor, okay? I need you to sit down
Done.
and I need you to really reflect on who you think is the greatest musical artist of all time. And then you tell us that. And then we'll tell you why you're wrong.
Yeah, that's a great point. We'll have a reason.
But on top of all that, have a great day. Whew, alrighty.
All right, I got to pee now. In the words of
I
Forrest
got
Gump.
to pee, Lieutenant Dan. All right.
What do you got?
Cool, man. Well,
Okay,
you go pee. I will go
sounds good.
not pee. I don't have to pee, but maybe I'll go pee anyway, just in
Yeah,
solidarity.
I think you should. I think you should. It's been too long since you have.
You know what? I did pee right before I came on the podcast.
Do you think I didn't also do that?
Yeah, but your bladder is this big, and I have a normal human bladder.
That's fine.
So,
Okay. Adios.
all right. Adios. All right, y'all. I'm signing off. This has been another episode of Totem Talks, and a pretty interesting one. Was not expecting the amount of information that I got really about both artists. Really, the Demi Lovato stuff shocked me. Rihanna's net worth shocked me, but Demi Lovato shocked me. For like, she has lived a fucking life, and very grateful. Grateful is a weird word there, but very happy for her that she has seemed to come out on the other side. Great stuff. Hey, we're always watching the Super Bowl halftime shows after we pee because the game's on. Can't pee during the game. Either than that, man, I gotta go because I can't speak English words anymore. So y'all have a great night, and we'll catch you with the next one. Bye.